On to my next project. This is a 1986 Porsche 944, naturally aspirated. My wife and her father purchased this car about 10 years ago. Her dad since passed away, and she won't let me get rid of it. So it's turned into my project car. Has just over 100,000 miles on it. Been doing a little bit of mechanical updates, really maintenance here and there. One of the things that went south twice now is the odometer stopped working. It's fairly common for the odometer gears to rot out from these, which I had already replaced once. I never did a video of it, so you'll see in this video the teardown. But after another 1,000 miles, the odometer stopped working. So I'm not sure if the motor burned up or one of the other gears went bad, but we're going to do a little teardown just to show. One of the things I need to get done, this paint, I believe it's just single stage. I had this polished last year, but it sat out for a while. And now it has all sorts of water spots on it. I'm going to be doing a full paint correction on it. Last time I did it, I ceramic coated it, thinking that it would help, but it really made no difference. Didn't really do much under the hood. As far as maintenance, I redid the ignition system, new cap rotor, new plug wires, new coil or capacitor. Had to redo all of the washer lines because they were clogged. They still work less than par. I think I'm going to actually have to end up replacing the jets. Other than that, really, other than cleaning it up, nothing else has been done under the hood. No, I deleted the power steering. This was notorious for leaking, so we ended up just getting rid of it, and I ended up putting a manual steering rack in it. First thing we want to do with any electrical project is disconnect the negative battery terminal. This car has no airbags, but we're going to be dealing with the horn, the cluster, and I don't want to short anything out, so we're just going to remove the negative battery terminal. Just set it aside. Here's how the car looks now. During my project of cleaning this baby up, I totally gutted the interior except for the dashboard, seats, consoles. Took the carpet out, cleaned everything up, put new floor mats in it, steam cleaned everything, and it cleaned up really well. For its age, it looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of cracking in the dashboard, but other than that, no real issues on the interior. Updated the radio to an Alpine unit. The blah punk that came in it worked okay, but it had a lot of interference between stations. Only other thing I had to do to the interior is I had problems with the HVAC system. The traditional blower motor clip broke on it, so it would constantly blow hot air. I fixed that, and the next year we went back to blowing hot air. Checked the clip again, and nothing was wrong with it. Checked the one coolant bypass valve under the hood. It was a little iffy. Replaced that, which still didn't fix the problem. Turned out the interior temperature sensor that lives in the dash has a little transistor that senses whether it's hot or cold inside the car. That ended up going out, so I can't really find them new. Found a used one off eBay and rebuilt it, and turns out everything works fine now. Only other real project I want to take on is getting the AC system fixed. Right now it blows warm air. It's the old R12 system. A lot of people convert them to R134, which I'm going to do. Just haven't got there yet. So first step in this, removing the horn. I've seen people get the cluster out while leaving the steering wheel intact, but I found it is so much easier to just ditch the steering wheel. 24mm socket. It's a pretty shallow nut in there. I found getting it back on, shove the piece of plastic inside of that, helps it go a little bit easier. Sorry, I'm one-handed. I'm going to have to put the phone down to pop this loose. Back at it. No holding the black shaft jokes. Nut comes right out. There is a little crush washer in here. It'll come out with the steering wheel. You can see it sitting there. I'm just going to leave it to the side. That makes removing this so much easier. In order to remove the cluster, there's 3 screws located under the bezel. There's 2 screws right here, and then there's another screw inside of that. And then there's 2 lower screws on either side of the steering column. I'm not really going to be able to get this on camera, so I'm going to put the phone down for now, and once I get it out, I'll be back. One common problem that I've seen that I haven't been able to find a retail solution for is the adjustment rod in the vent for up, down, and sideways. There's a little rod that goes in it that connects the side-to-side movement to the vertical adjuster. Well, this one disappeared. You can see it in there. If anybody has any 3D plans or 3D printsies or has a link to where I can get something that fits in there, I'd love to know. This dash has been apart by me 2 or 3 times now. These tabs on the corner of the cluster are prone to break, so I have little washers secured just to give it a little extra support. There's 2 in each corner, just a Phillips screw to remove. As soon as I pop these out, I'll be back. I have the 4 screws out and have the cluster pulled forward. This is why I think this is impossible to do with the steering wheel in place. On the back side of the cluster, there are 3 connectors. You just kind of squeeze this tab to pop it loose. There's one. Once you get that one out, you can get to the other 2. Sorry about the lighting. Trying to do this by feel because I'm holding the camera. Bear with me. There's how these are secured. Just little locking clips. So there's 3 of them labeled A, B, C. Show you the back of the cluster. A, B, and C. I've had this out before. When I replaced the gear, I actually replaced all of the bulbs with LEDs. If any of you have one of these things, you know how dim the clusters are. So I'm going to get this in, put it on a towel, and start tearing it apart. I'll be back with you. Oh, love my ski pants. Holding the cluster together, there are 8 of these screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I already took a couple of them out, but just so I could test everything, I put a few back in. So we're going to go through tearing this back apart, because while I was testing the odometer, I left the bezel off of it just so I could see the numbers themselves moving a little more accurately. So there's how it looks now, but I just got to tear it apart and put the bezel back on because everything's currently working. The question's going to be for how long. Like I said, I did this once before and it worked for a while, and then it decided to stop working. So typically what you would need to do is take apart the glass from the back of the instruments. I had already done this, so I'm just pop it apart so you can see. Am I missing? Once you turn it over, you're left with this. I had already taken the bezel off. In order to get this out safely, you have to remove the needle. You do not need to take this apart to fix the gear, but I just wanted to make sure that there was nothing stuck in there, because videos, and well, not really videos, stuff I found on Pelican Parts, Ren List, Clark's Garage said that when you replace the odometer gear, it's pretty common that parts of the old broken gear get stuck in here, and that may have been what happened. I already taken this apart, so it comes off very easy. You really just want to get around the needle, apply even pressure, and pull straight up. I'm going to reset the face. Try to clean all the greasy fingerprints off of it first. It's just two small flathead screws that hold the gauges in place. As it goes flying across the floor. So be careful not to scratch this. These gauge faceplates are aluminum. Sorry if my head's in the way. And because I have OCD, I'm going to try to make sure these screws are turned the same amount. When zeroed, the needle points just below 0. A little downward pressure, and there we go. So when actually working with this, I find it easiest to leave everything semi-assembled, because the actual cluster, or at least the faceplate, makes a nice way to let everything rest where you're not putting pressure on the needles. I'm actually going to cut in another part of this video where I'm taking it apart. But in order to drop the odometer out, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that you need to remove. They're just flatheads. I had already taken these out and everything snugged back up. The only thing I had to do was go in and replace the bezel on the front. While I had it off, I did notice that it is dirty inside. So I'm just going to take a second and clean this up. A little microfiber cloth. There's just a little black smudge in here. Probably from the first time I did this. It is not coming off. Could get some plastic polish out and polish it. But my son really wants to go to school in the Porsche tomorrow, so we're getting it put back together. Unofficially, this video is not sponsored by New Trail. Crisp amber, it's delicious. Got to be careful when taking these out. 2 of these tabs were cracked while it was still in the car, before I had ever taken it apart. We've owned this car for about 10 years now. Don't put a lot of miles on it, but it is slowly becoming a restoration project. Every year I try to refresh or fix up one system. The AC barely works. It's an old R12 system. So my next step is going to be converting it over to R134, because I really would like to drive this car more in the summer, but we're looking at mid-90s here in the summer, and just with the windows down and top off, it's still pretty hot and unbearable. So that's our next project. I'll make a video of that once I get all the parts sourced. You guys have any questions on how to take this apart more, or any other questions about the dash removal, feel free to comment below. Getting everything back in the car is pretty much the opposite of removal. When you're doing the cables to the passenger side, when you put it back together, are easiest to put on first. I would go in this order. I believe they're labeled A, B, C. I would go C first, B, then A. It's getting dark outside, so I'm not going to be able to get it on camera very well. But like I said, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop a comment. And thanks for watching.